Hi folks, as per our recent conversation, I'm going to do a walk around video. I'll point out and highlight any bits and pieces obviously on the vehicle. As you do appreciate, I'm sure that the car's done the mileage it's done, and it is a 2013. However, I will obviously point them out, and then you know exactly where we're at with it all. Walking up to the car, so offside front bumper is, there's no scuffs or marks on the bumper corner or into the bumper itself. Headlight obviously all in good order and intact, and then you've got obviously offside front wheel. So I'll, if you can, I'll give you an idea of tread depth, which is obviously very good across the tyre. And then looking at the actual wheel itself, there's a small mark at the very, very top. I mean, this is being picky, but a small mark at the very, very top. Otherwise, it's free of sort of scratching or marks around the wheel itself. A little bit, if you're going to be ultra critical, a little bit of corrosion in the, around the sort of centre cap, but nothing I don't think to worry about at this moment in time. Offside front wing is all clean and clear, free of any parking dents or anything remotely close, as is the driver's door, to be fair. So there's nothing to tune into on the door itself, other than dirt, it appears. Mirror all intact and all in working order. And door handle, etc. You know, again, as it should be, sort of free of scratches and marks. There's a little touch in at the bottom of the door there, but I don't think anything for anybody to be worrying about. Probably the only thing to really highlight on the car is obviously the seat squab. Bear in mind it's at the bottom in the seat for as long as it has slightly deteriorated, but the seat bolster is all in very good order, as you can see there. So it doesn't affect the actual seating or sitting of the vehicle at all. I'll whiz into the car now for you and get her started. So, as you know, we're 146,708 miles, as you see on the screen. Preheat off, obviously, and away we go. Fires up exactly as it should. Sounds good in the flesh, may not always sound necessarily so good on a video, to be honest with you. Whizzing in through here, obviously you've got your radio and telephone stuff, etc. You've then got all of your controls lower down, obviously for heated, or for heating, sorry, apologies. As you know, fan all in working order. Aircon we will double check, but I believe it was cold the last time I tried it, and obviously the rest as it should be. Centre console isn't all scratched and marked, and the armrest is in good order, so all good there. Just coming towards the back of the car, I did mention to you there's a couple of small parking dents. You may not, you'll just about see them if I change the angle of the phone here. There's one there, there's a tiny one just there, which someone has obviously touched in, but that's the most obvious one, which I did mention to you on the phone itself. Rest of the door is in good order, so nothing to report at all. Back seat squab in good order. No rips, tears, doesn't smell of smoke or anything nasty, so all good. Coming down, there's a slight, again being picky, slight discoloration there, may even slightly polished. You may not even see it on the video, to be fair, but that's all there is. Offside rear wheel, now this one is free of chipping, it appears, and scuffing, so that's all good. And then I'll come round and you've got, again, decent tyre tread across the tyre itself. Offside rear corner, nothing to report on that panel, other than, as I said, that slight discoloration under the petrol flap. Coming around, rear bumper's all in good order, no cracks or damage in the bumper itself. And then boot area, again, just as it should be, to be honest. You may not even see it properly from there. And then you've got spare wheel, tools, etc. obviously resting underneath as they should be. Boot lid itself, again, there are some light marks, but nothing a bit of polish wouldn't take out, I don't think, and certainly nothing that would concern you in any way, shape or form. Near side rear bumper corner, again all good. Rear sensors do work, by the way. Obviously you know you've got the 4 across the top, the Parktronic system. You then got near side rear quarter, so there's nothing for me to highlight on here. And then obviously near side rear wheel, again all in good order and decent tread across the tyre itself. Near side rear wheel, again free of any scuffing or marks, so that's all good. And then rear near side door, there's nothing for me to sort of highlight on there with regard to parking dents or scratches or anything remotely similar. Inside the car again, rear seat all in very good order, so good. Passenger door on the near side, obviously again there's no parking dents or scratches that I'd need to highlight. There's been 1 or 2 touches I think, or small touches on a couple of the panels, but again bearing in mind it's age and mileage, nothing that should put anybody off. Seat squab on the passenger side is good, and so is obviously seat bolster, having probably not had somebody in it for quite as many miles. Coming around, so you've got near side mirror, again all in good order, working order, with the power fold obviously as well, so that's all good. The only thing I would point out again, which I'm sure you could, could be rectified later on, but not necessarily at the moment. There's a chip here which hasn't gone through, so it's in the top, and there's another small chip just there. Not in driver's line of vision, so not something that's going to be an MOT failure or anything remotely close, as we are at the moment. Near side front wing, again all in good order, and near side front wheel, exactly the same, to be fair. There's no scuffing or curbing or anything on the wheel itself. Coming around, a couple of light marks at the very bottom, again being ultra critical, very bottom of the panel there, but not nothing horrendous. And of course, last but not least, you've got the bonnet. There are 1 or 2 stone chips still relevant. Some of this you'll see on here is dust, and some have been touched in, to be fair. It's hard to sort of highlight, but for example, there was a chip there that obviously somebody has touched in. One would hope with the relevant paint and a small chip there, etc. But again, ultimately with 146,000 miles on it, if it didn't have the chips, it means the front end has been repainted, and therefore it makes it obviously less original. That's pretty much it, I think, for the video. Obviously, I appreciate we've got the deposit, and we're looking forward to seeing you hopefully on Saturday. One would certainly hope that the video hasn't detracted you from that, and look forward to speaking to you soon. Thank you.